everybody. I'm April Shen, Fellow of the Society of Actuaries, and today we'll be discussing volunteerism within the organization. As part of this SOA Thanks web series, the SOA features volunteers whose time and expertise have helped shape the profession and the communities around them. In recognition of Asian American and Pacific Islander Heritage Month, I'm speaking with SOA volunteer Yaoyi Wang to hear about her story. Please welcome Yaoyi.
Hi, April. Thanks for having me.
Yaoyi, thank you so much for joining. To get started, how did you begin volunteering with the SOA?
Yeah, so I joined the SOA Research Communication and Oversight Group about a little over a year ago, shortly after I obtained my FSA designation. So this group oversees communication for new research projects and makes recommendations on how to make research results reach more people that might find them beneficial, either via ways of social media posts or podcasts. And also we proactively seek ways to explore things to encourage interactions with the broader audience. And then prior to that SOA engagement, I've always enjoyed helping out with campus recruiting, including college campus visits, and also visiting, presenting at actuarial bootcamp programs. I enjoy speaking to students and associates in their earlier stage of career, and students pursuing their actuarial careers. So I thought those were very rewarding experiences for me.
That's great. Thank you, Yaoyi. I guess a follow-up question on experience. What prompted your decision to volunteer?
Yeah, so I would say joining the Research Communication Oversight Group was mostly driven by my own desire to learn more. I wanted to stay in current with the new researches and projects, and also learn about the development processes of ongoing projects. And then previously I was in a group life and disability pricing role. And for some work, I had opportunity to leverage some of the SOA experience study results. And I found them to be very helpful with all those data on our industries and geographic areas. And I thought those could be beneficial for people working in other fields too. And actually the SOA creates and updates researches and studies on a variety of topics and fields too. Covering retirement, healthcare, mortality, and technologies. And they have well-designed multiple-year strategic plans for those research programs. So I thought that was great to plan out, but then they also nimble enough to quickly switch gear to conduct like COVID-19 studies when a pandemic first hit. And given that it's very important, having high impact in the insurance industry. So I wanted others to be also aware that there's just a large collection of resources available that they could utilize for their work or their researches.
That's great. Thank you for introducing that. I'm curious on whether there was an SOA volunteer who inspired you. And if there's one, how did that person make a difference in your life?
Yeah, so for me, I find it difficult to think of one single person or any particular person that gives me all the inspirations, but rather a whole group of people, right? So many of my friends, mentors, and colleagues at work are pretty engaged in SOA volunteer opportunities. So their experience, vary from some young associates still studying for exams and to very experienced senior VPs. And then they all have something to contribute in their own ways, right? Whether through participating in section consoles or exam writing, or coming up more broader strategic plan for the whole profession. But the common thing I found there is that they are all passionate about something that they work on, and then they're willing to devote their time and energy to helping others. So I think collectively, they all inspire me and give me
That's great.
ideas I can contribute.
Great. I think I'm really glad to hear there are a group of volunteers around you, and I'm sure you're impacting others as well. So my other question is, how does being an actuary and volunteering your time make an impact on others, in your opinion?
Yeah, sure. So for me, I always thought it's beneficial to volunteer because of the sharing knowledge and building connections. And I think that's a mutual benefit for all volunteers. So we learn from each other through involvements, working on various projects. And then the profession is just full of talented people. And the goal is to share the knowledge and spread the knowledge. And also, I found it very impactful that I was able to inspire younger generation of future actuaries. So I had students that I spoke to in the past reaching out to me, seeking guidance on different career paths. And I felt like I'm making an impact, helping them navigating through their early stage of a career and see the options available for them, and then get excited over the possibilities. And then beyond that, the whole profession, like being an actuary, is impactful for like in a broader sense for the customers and society. So, nowadays, given the fact that the amount of data is growing exponentially, and then through collective effort, we could just put those data into good use with some insightful analyses. We can draw trends in population, mortality, understand the policyholder behaviors better. So with all those factors to consider, that we can come up with better product designs that can be more suited for customer needs.
Yep, that's great. One last question I have is, what would you say to someone who is considering volunteering?
So I would say to find an area, to start off, to find an area that you are passionate about, or you have the expertise, you have the strength in. But again, you don't really need to be very experienced to be able to contribute. You can always start with learning, and then through developing knowledge and expanding your network, you can sharpen your soft skills and get exposure on the things that you don't normally work on in your regular day-to-day job. And I think more importantly, I think we are all contributing to the same goal, trying to shape the future of the profession through different initiatives.
Yep, that's great, Yaoyi. Thank you so much for sharing your volunteering experience with us. And thank you. Please join us next time.
Thank you. Thank you, April.